The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUF for life. We are IUF.
Good evening and welcome to Today on One. I'm Maggie Forcigaro. In the news tonight, Hartleaf employees call for removal of certain managers, President Geingob and media houses used in Bitcoin scam, no leads in cold-blooded murder of Nampel constable, local urban farmer calls on sustainable agricultural practices, and Roundup Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. Hartleaf employees took to the streets claiming unfair treatment by some in management positions and the removal of benefits amongst others. The employees note that their situation at work has worsened since the company has merged with Oldhaver and List group of companies.
Come on, Garida! Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Come on, Garida!
Disciplinary hearings targeted towards senior employees are the order of the day, said Hartleaf employees representative as he read out a petition during a peaceful demonstration at the Hartleaf premises in the capital. Ruben Ngifumule said that they have not received any salary increments during 2020, but the managers have received increments and benefits left, right and center.
There's been a hearing at the order of the day at Hartleaf, especially targeting old employees so that they can lose their severance payment. Just 2 months ago, there were 65 of our core employees, 65 comrades. Did you hear that right? 65. 65. Yeah, 65. So they were ordered to write, they issued written warnings after they went to ask for finding out about the night shift, which was about to be implemented without a prior consultation. Where in the world have we seen two workers in some company doing the same job, but there's different salaries, different benefits, housing allowance? Why would you take 500? Not even a Kampashu. In Havana, wherever, you can get for 500. The Mashas can get 700. Yes. After our union, the National Food Arid Workers Union declared a initial dispute last month, that's when the company offered 3%. What an insult. In the independent Namibia, where our forefathers that were this country, we will never take this 3%. That's why I collapse it. Never. Don't believe me. We will never take this. We reject it because we know what you are producing here. The trucks are always coming out. Why would you take 3% for what? Why are we being used by the company that we trust? We come here every day, Monday to Friday, 6 to 4, producing to me everything. All the plans are being made. Why are we not selling? We cannot afford to take the employers' benefits without any negotiations. We want to call upon the government of the Republic of Namibia through the Ministry of Labour to dispatch inspectors in order to come and see the occupational health and safety of this company. Because we cannot afford to see poor workers being damaged with their fingers like that, and no report up to this date. So therefore, we would like to call all companies that NAFAU is not going to allow workers to be mistreated. So that at the end of the day, the company, they are making profit more than any other, any other person in this world. So therefore, to compare the workers with the company, it's not right. We know there is Section 12, which the company are abusing. You understand? So they wake up today. Tomorrow they tell you we can't cut your salaries. We know what this company is doing. Because you are producing here, you sell to the rest of this country, even to the international community. But you tell us that there is no money. Down profit maximization, down.
Gunter Ling, Hartleaf Managing Director, receiving the petition, assured the employees that they would study the petition and revert back to them.
I take note of while receiving the petition. First of all, I want to thank also the last voice said that we can do this in a peaceful and respected spirit. I take note of the concerns that have been read by the employees of Hartleaf to me and to management as per this petition. I take note of the demands that were read that are in this petition by the employee representative today, and we will study the petition like was now explained on the handover. They have given us 5 days for response. Thank you very much.
The employees demand that some of the managers resign with immediate effect and for independent audits to be conducted, also calling on the-job injuries to be reported and not to go unnoticed.
Sandals, cool prices, only at Pep. Women's sandals are just $59.99. Kids sandals are only $49.99. Plus, get a double deal on plush towels for just $89.99 each. Buy any two, save 20. Summer fun for everyone. Life's better with Pep.
The Institute of Public Policy Research, IPPR, is cautioning the Namibian public against scams where people and institutions of influence are implicated in order to steal money from them. A local man was recently almost scammed of his hard-earned money after following a link he found on an article supposedly written by the Namibian newspaper and One Africa TV's Today on One about President Hage Geingob investing in bitcoins. Both Today on One and the Namibian newspaper informed him that the articles are fake and that the president was never interviewed on such a topic.
So, we've been seeing these sorts of advertised scams on social media, and people unfortunately are falling for this stuff. But people should be more aware of what these things are. What these sorts of scams usually do is they try and mimic an actual credible or authoritative source. For instance, using the logo or the masthead of a media organization such as the Namibian or One Africa, or linking to the Namibian president, which is what we've seen as well. And what State House has had to step in and sort of try and debunk. So that's how these scams work, is to try and persuade people by mimicking, an authoritative or influential source that people might, look up to. But I would encourage people, if you see such things on social media and you don't see them reported by any credible sources, to not fall for this stuff, and to contact the organizations directly if they see an organization is used to promote something like, say for instance, One Africa, that they contact that institution directly and find out, is this true? Are you promoting Bitcoin? And do you sell Bitcoin? And that's the best way to verify firsthand whether this is actually true. Of course, people can't, directly. Most people can't directly access State House to try and verify for themselves if the president is promoting Bitcoin. But in that case, you would have to sort of ask yourself, would the president really be doing this? President of the country really be doing this? It just seems a bit far-fetched for somebody to something like this.
The man who almost fell victim to the scam told Today on One that he believed the fake news report, as according to him, it was coming from trusted media houses and President Hage Geingob.
I was really, I have some savings, and I was about to. I followed the steps. There was a link that you clicked on. You follow the steps, and then as I was about to enter my bank details, to do the transfer, there was just a voice in my backside. Actually, this is the first time that I tried to, be part or partake in such a whatever. So I was laid off about in the beginning of the year. So financial wise, it's so difficult, and for me it was like, this is an opportunity. Even the president is doing it, it sounds legit, by reading through it sounds so legit, because the interview was conducted by One Africa, and it was like I've said, I was about to, it was just a matter of pressing a button to transfer the money.
He further said that he called the media houses to verify the story, as it was too good to be true. The link gives you a countdown timer which only gives you a limited time to enter your details, putting extra pressure on you as you think your window of opportunity is closing.
What I've noticed or realized is that you don't get easy money. You don't get, especially with what do you call this? The Bitcoins. I don't know. Like I've said, I've heard of it, the Bitcoin, but now the Bitcoin ruble. The name ruble already tells you, ruble has always been associated with bad things, should I say? So. If you are not sure about something, especially when like I did, for instance, when I saw the article, like I said, I was about to, but then I decided, let me call the source of this article, which was One Africa, and it was a matter of seconds, because I was waiting for the lady, and the timer was going. You get about 5 seconds to press a certain button or so. So the timer was going, and I decided, let me call the Namibian, and I was told by the Namibian, no, it is a scam. It's not what they published and so forth. And afterwards, luckily one of your people called me back, so telling me no, there wasn't such interview done with the president.
The IPPR is encouraging the Namibian public to always call the respective media houses to verify the information, and to be careful on social media platforms, as scammers will use the pictures of trusted individuals and companies in society to trick you and steal your money.
Oraniemund, established in 1936, from which point onward CDM, now Namdeb Diamond Corporation, provided every service, the schooling, infrastructure and entertainment required for the people of the town. The winds of change is blowing over Oraniemund, which is no longer a closed town.
This ship was commandeered by King Charles III, and he actually sent a knight to Spain to go and fetch some money from investors, because they wanted to go and fetch some spices in India.
When we were kids, the mine delivered milk, bread, and black paper, black plastic bags for your rubbish, and cleaned your garden, did the maintenance of your house. You had furniture already installed in your house.
The Namibian Police Force is offering 20,000 Namibia dollars to anyone with reliable information regarding the death of Constable Talamanjila Pietrus. Police speculate that he was murdered and then dumped in a riverbed behind Wimpy in Marintal.
Police made the gruesome discovery on 21st August 2021. The body, according to police reports, was later identified as 35-year-old Constable Talamonjela Pietrus. The state in which the remains were, as per the investigations, indicates that the murder occurred 4 days prior to the discovery.
Initially, the colleague was reported to be missing. So a missing person report was then issued, and the police, as well as colleague and family, mobilized ourselves and were in pursuit of the colleague. Sadly, until the 21st of August, when his decomposed body was found dumped in a riverbed behind Wimpy in Marental area.
Police investigations also state that the officer died on duty, but it still isn't clear what transpired on the day of the incident.
Preliminary investigation now leads that he was murdered. And we are investigating. The reward now is really prompting for anyone with concrete information to kindly come forth to either any nearest police station or contact the investigating officer, whose number is 081-259-8664. That is Inspector Gert Boyce, who is leading the investigation into this regard.
According to Shikwambi, incidents of this sort occur at random, which makes it nearly impossible to pin down culprits.
The crime is very prevalent across the country. Just even during the end of the weekend, we had murder cases. We were on Operation Resilient throughout the whole weekend. And while we are enforcing the law or preventing crime within the whole jurisdiction in Bentuk, we came upon a body in the Havana area. The body was found lying there with some stab wound. So this type of things are very prevalent. And in most cases, really, there's nobody that comes forth unless it happened in the view of many that could serve then as witnesses to what happened. But when you come upon a body like that, then the investigation also becomes a bit challenging. And then we have also another challenge with people who are hesitant or rather reluctant to come forth as witnesses.
Members of the force remember Constable Talamonjela Pietrus as young and vibrant, thus making the manner in which his life ended mysterious.
We have been inundated with queries also from the family member of our colleagues. And it's really disheartening that the investigation so far is not yielding any fruitful results. We are not ceasing with the investigation. It continues. And we really want the public to assist us in this regard. Whosoever has seen anything, whosoever has engaged the colleague on that particular day, whosoever has any information or heard anything, might please contact the officer or the nearest police station and share with us.
Investigations into his death are underway, but there are no leads yet. Law enforcement is therefore offering a reward of 20,000 Namibia dollars to anyone with reliable information that can lead to the arrest of the suspects.
Josiah Shipingana, an urban farmer, advocates for more agricultural producers to use organic compost as a means of sustainable agriculture. Organic matter in the soil, according to Shipingana, is critical for sustaining soil fertility and reducing nutrient losses.
Compost can be made at a very low cost with a variety of organic ingredients that are used to fertilize and improve soil. It is commonly made from decomposing plant and food waste as well as organic materials that have been recycled. The resulting mixture is rich in plant nutrients and beneficial organisms such as worms and fungal mycelium. In gardens, landscaping, horticulture, urban agriculture and organic farming, compost improves soil fertility. Today on One recently spoke to a local urban farmer who produces his own compost using organic waste, which he says is a much affordable and sustainable method of urban farming.
You don't buy, but you make your own things. You see, this is what I'm using. And it's organic, no chemical. And I can tell you, compost again, it's one of the very important elements because even when you got soil pH, the soil pH that is more alkaline, then you need to add compost because compost already got NPK, which is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium that you need to add. Unlikely if you do not have compost, then you need to do what? You need to have what's so-called lime calcium to add and utilize your land. And then the other benefit about compost is that you can do a compost tea. Compost tea is a top dressing immediately when you sow your vegetable or your crops after germination. You need to add what's so-called compost tea. Those are more scientific, but those who want to come with it. So this thing should be steamed. It should be done at 60 degrees Celsius. Then here, this is a thermometer. You see, if you can feel it, it's hot. You see, so when it's hot, it's telling you that the whole process is working. Therefore, it must be done at 60 degrees Celsius, even if it's in a cooler place, even if it's what. But the moment you put it and you see it's not steaming, then the whole process is working. But the temperature then start dropping, and the heat itself start dropping as it's going through the process when it's almost becoming ready. Because you see, like this one is almost ready. So as the process is going down, so the temperature drop, and the heat is also becoming less. So you can harvest about 44 liters, we call them liters, 44 liters of bags when it's done.
According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, chemical fertilizers are more expensive to purchase, and using fine organic matter significantly improves the soil structure and makes it more resistant against the erosive action of rain and wind. It also improves the water storage capacity of the soil, as well as retains nutrients and slowly releases them into the plants over a longer period.
Get ready to enjoy Simba's sounds of flavor.
All the Simba flavors. Let's roll. Guys, smoke beef. Kwanga finiga. Shaya chocolate. Shakita mud.
Together we roll because Simba roars with flavor.
In other leading stories, a delegation focused on climate change and clean energy met with Namibian government officials and civil society to encourage U.S.-Namibia partnership on clean energy development and combating the climate crisis. The delegation is led by Deputy Special Envoy for Climate Jonathan Pershing, who reports to John Kerry, the first ever Special Presidential Envoy for Climate and the first ever principal dedicated to climate change to sit on the U.S. National Security Council. In meetings with Namibian officials, the delegation had wide-ranging conversations on climate change and clean energy that explored how both countries can work together in anticipating and addressing climate impacts, building resilience, scaling up development of clean energy, and raising global climate ambition ahead of the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Glasgow this November. The delegation also spoke with Namibian officials about the recent launched Mega Solar Initiative and ways to expand a strong partnership with the Namibian government on clean energy and low emissions development in Africa. The Mega Solar Partnership between the governments of Namibia and Botswana, Power Africa, the African Development Bank, the World Bank, International Bank of Reconstruction and Development, the International Finance Corporation, and African Union Development Agency is expected to generate up to 5 gigawatts of solar power. Mega Solar could transform Namibia and Botswana into two of the globe's most significant producers of solar power, enough to begin exporting renewable energy to the Southern African region and making a significant contribution to global efforts on climate change.
Joseph Parkman was in and out of prison, dealing and doing drugs. Then a drug deal went wrong. Joseph was robbed, handcuffed, and scared straight out of the business. For 6 months, he roamed the streets as a homeless addict. Then one night, in a baseball dugout, Joseph met a stranger who totally changed his life.
I stand in awe of the power of the God who's our creator. And Terry and I sit here on this program, and the Lord speaks to us, and it's the word of knowledge. It's one of the manifestations of the Holy Spirit.
Something not always godly.
Not always, that's right. That's right. Well, there's a lot of negative voices out there, as we know.
Yes, there are.
And
so how do you know when it's God saying, Perry, I want to speak this to you right now?
And sometimes you don't know. And I think you pray over it and you think about it. And sometimes you just, a lot of times I'll just envision, as you and I are talking here today, I may envision that I'm here talking with God. And how am I supposed to address this issue?
Okay? Realize Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is the same for you right now. So let's pray. Let's call on his name and let him do the rest for you. Let's pray.
And tonight on Business on One, amongst the largest retailers on the African continent, another OK Express outlet has recently been unveiled at the Puma Cadet service station in Kleinwindhoek, with more outlets planned to be opened at other Puma stations across the country.
With the objective to improve its visibility in the market, Puma Namibia plans to revamp shops at 61 of its sites in Namibia, offering customers a one-stop shop.
When we revamp shops, the objective is to improve our visibility in the market, in the trade area, but also to attract more customers, but also to retain our customers and to show our customers that Puma is not only here to sell fuels, but we have a range of products that we'd like to promote, and we want Puma to become a one-stop shop for our customers. When we come for fueling, we'll find a very nice shop and a food offer, lubricants and many other products that we promote and that we sell in Namibia. So it's very interesting for us to be in this market and to have that intention to grow the market, because a lot of people are challenging us, are you going to grow the market despite the pandemic? We've been living a very difficult situation the last 2 years in Namibia. Despite that situation, we continue investing because we believe in the future of this country. Despite this pandemic, we continue on our activities in terms of CSR. I think this year we did close to 10 CSR activities where we gave a lot of funds to communities, charities, just to show Namibian people that we are behind. So Puma is a citizen company. We are going to continue investing in our sites, and let's hope that the future will be bright.
Puma stands for customer service and for partnership. Today we're very glad to open, together with our partner OK Express, an offering for customers. That means that when you're a customer of Puma or when you're a customer of OK Express, 24/7 you can stop at one of our retail stations and you're very likely to be able to access to an OK service station, OK shop.
The OK retailer has been around for almost 90 years, with over 400 shops operating across Namibia, South Africa, Lesotho and Swaziland.
It's a stunning store. The site looks very good, and I'm sure that we're going to trade very well here as well. We want to welcome you to our OK family. It's quite a big family, and you're part of a good group. It's a group of good people that's committed to doing good sales, committed to giving good customers, and also having a very good relationship with you as well, the Puma guys. Bless you guys. May this be a very good endeavor for you. The OK team will always be available to help and to guide, and I believe that this is going to be an excellent partnership going forward. There's a lot still happening in the next year, and we're committed and we are ready to run with you guys and be successful.
Are you a CMAS member? Did you know that should you need medical treatment, you have access to quality private hospitalization, guaranteed specialist treatment in private hospitals across Namibia with Compliment Gap. Compliment Gap is a complimentary product for CMAS members only, which covers the shortfall between what CMAS pays and private hospitals charge. You and your family have more than 2 million in medical gap cover per year at a very affordable price. That's not all. You also have access to emergency evacuation within Namibia and $10 million international travel cover for those unforeseen events abroad. Take the financial burden off your shoulders. Invest in your family's health. SMS GAP to 999 555 and we'll contact you. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi there, parents. Do you have primary school kids and want them to get extra quality supplementary lessons to up their grades? Then simply switch to One Africa TV's #LearnOn1, where your kids can get maths, English and science lessons every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. And thanks to NMH's MyZone, these lessons are 100% Namibian. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Time now for Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. A 55-year-old resident from Ochimise was apprehended by the Namibian police force with the assistance of members of the Havana community for alleged sexual conduct with minors and sometimes prostitutes. They claim that this has been going on for the past 4 years. JP says if someone is found guilty of such a crime, whether a first offender or not, the punishment should be life imprisonment. Inge notes that it is really sad asking for God to protect our children. Ava says children are not safe and should be protected. Nestor says the community did a great job. While Eileen commended the community for their bravery, asking why it took them so long to report him. That is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast only on Today on One.
God said, it's interesting to see if we have a look at John 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In other words, what I see drives me to go out what I say. And I believe this is the goal of our Bible school, to teach me to see. And I dare to say what you see must change your heart. Because you cannot move out if you don't have a changed heart. By the word of God, everything is created. God wants you to speak the word so that things can be created. Say to your neighbor, created.
Time now for Sports on One with Castro Ulumbu.
Welcome and thank you for joining me, Castro Ulumbu, for this evening's edition of Sports on One. COSAFA Women's Championship Match Day 6 saw Namibia take on Africa's powerhouse Zambia in women's football 3 days after their 0-0 stalemate against tournament invitees Uganda. Namibia's Gladiators lost their game 3-0 at the hands of Zambia. Today on One Sports has more on this story. 3 days after drawing a stalemate against Uganda, Namibia's senior women's football national team were up again in matchday 6 as they took on Zambia's Copper Queens in the second game of Group C. Despite only 1 point at the tournament so far, Brave Gladiators interim head coach noted that he is satisfied with the players' performances and has reiterated that despite the results, his aim at the tournament is to use the cup competition as preparation for the upcoming women's AFCON qualifiers set for October, where the Warriors will face Tanzania.
Tough match to be. We knew it from the start. We saw Zambia, we watched them, and we had to come up with a plan. And I think for the first 45 minutes, only that lapse in concentration towards the end. I mean, we virtually conceded with the last kick of the game, and we lose that concentration, and we conceded a goal. So tough match, but all in all, I think the girls did well. They really gave their all, and I say as a coach that if you go in and you lose a game and you did what you could and you did your best, for me, I'm satisfied. I think a goalkeeper's job is to save goals, and you don't compliment the bird for flying. So she was there for that purpose, and she did that. And also, I think we gave Zambia a very good run for their money. The three-line scoreline for me is a little bit flattering. That for me is flattering, but not entirely to say that the scoreline was supposed to be bigger, because they didn't overrun us, all in all. So it's a good team, well coached, but not that they overrun us. You never stop believing, but I believe that both Zambia and Uganda in a driving position, because it also depends what they do in the next game. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But for me, it's more about getting game time, because these girls haven't played in a long time because of COVID restrictions and protocols. And it's the first time they're out here playing. They didn't even prepare well in terms of friendly matches because of the prohibition of contact sport. And for me, these 3 games is going to be used for preparation towards our African Women Cup qualifier against Tanzania in Dar es Salaam in 2 weeks' time. So that is the main aim, to get as much from this tournament as we wanted to go far, wanted to go and proceed and go and do well, but Lady Luck was not on our side, and we conceded goals that I think we could have done better.
Going into the game, Zambia had won their first game with a thumping 5-0 victory over Eswatini, and were looking forward to continue their winning streak and collect maximum points when they face the Gladiators of Namibia. In her post-match interview, Florence Muila, head coach of Zambia, admitted that the match was nerve-wracking in the first half, but is glad that her team listened to her instructions at halftime and is happy with the result.
The girls were a bit panicky in the first half. You saw how they held us, and we didn't play our game really well, but then we told them to just calm down. That's how in the second half we were able to dominate the play. Yeah, and those chances that we missed, we talked about it, that we need to utilize every chance that we get on goal, because what we want is a win. We don't want to qualify by negotiation, but we want to qualify by winning it. It's quite a tough game. We've watched Uganda. They are also fast, so we need to really work out our plan very well in order for us to get that game as well. We've got a program that we are having with the girls in order to manage them to be able to last throughout this tournament, because looking at now, we've reached at a point where you only have a day before you play another match, so we already have it done for us.
The Brave Gladiators will next face bottom team Eswatini, who lost 5-0 to Zambia in their first game and 5-1 against Uganda. Top of the log is the clash between Zambia and Uganda, as well as Namibia vs Eswatini, who will round off the group games of the 9th edition of the COSAFA Women's Championship. And that is all we have for you tonight. Join us again next time for Sports on One, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thanks a lot for the latest in sports. Castro, time now for the weather forecast.
Now a look at the weather forecast. The interior will be sunny and warm to hot in the south. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and hot to very hot, with a few thunder showers in the Kavango and the Zambezi regions in places. A fresh to strong westerly wind will prevail in the interior. The coast will be partly cloudy and cool, with fog patches in the morning. And the wind will be light to moderate southerly to southwesterly. Now let's have a look at the minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
That is all we have for you. Join us again for a repeat at 9:30 and 6 a.m. and the Omnibus Saturdays from 9 to 2. From me, Maggie Forciero, and the rest of the team, till next time, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future. A hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Prevention is important. Help prevent the spread of illness and keep yourself and others well. Hand washing is one of the most effective ways of preventing the spread of germs. Wash your hands regularly with soap and hot water, scrubbing your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds. Hand sanitizers can be used but are not recommended as a substitute for hand washing. Use sanitizers in addition to hand washing or in a situation where soap and water are not available. To avoid spreading germs, limit sharing of personal items such as utensils, cups, and dishes. Your skin acts as a barrier to germs, but your eyes, nose, and mouth are more vulnerable. Wash your hands thoroughly before touching your face, eating, or drinking. Avoid physical contact with others, including handshakes, fist bumps, high fives, hugs, and kisses. Social distancing is deliberately increasing the physical space between people to avoid spreading germs. While regulations may vary by country or area, the best guideline for social distancing is to maintain a distance of 6 feet from others. Germs can travel through the air from one person to another. If you sneeze or cough, do so into a tissue or the inside of your elbow to prevent the spread of germs. Avoid contact with ill individuals and insist they isolate themselves until they have recovered and are symptom-free. Clean and sanitize frequently touched common surfaces and high-traffic areas in your home and workplace several times a day. Share these guidelines with others and help prevent the spread of illness and maintain a healthy environment. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure.
The coronavirus that causes COVID-19 has changed since the pandemic started. So does this mean the virus has become more dangerous? Scientists have discovered thousands of mutations to the SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus. Most mutations only lead to small changes, but scientists believe one, called D614G, may have made it easier for the virus to infect human cells. This mutation most likely emerged after the initial outbreak in China, and it spread fast after the virus arrived in Europe. By the end of June, the D614G mutation was found in almost all samples of the virus worldwide. Scientists believe this is due to amino acid changes in the virus's spike proteins, improving its ability to infect human cells. Some studies have found more spikes on viruses with this mutation. These spikes latch onto receptors on the surface of our cells. They then transfer the virus's genetic material, called RNA, inside. Being inside the host cell allows the virus to make many copies of itself. Random errors sometimes happen in the copying process, which cause mutations. Although the full effects of D614G are still unclear, some studies suggest that the mutated virus might be more transmissible than the original. This could mean more people getting sick and at a faster rate. Despite this, there isn't any evidence that the disease itself has become more severe. Scientists are worried about mutations possibly increasing the risk of reinfection. Hong Kong reported what could be the first case of virus reinfection on the 24th of August. A healthy man in his 30s is thought to have caught the virus again 4.5 months after he first got sick. During this time, mutations developed and new variants of the virus emerged. Some experts believe these changes may have made reinfections more likely. Mutations are common over the course of a pandemic. New flu vaccines are needed every winter to keep up with genetic changes to the flu virus. If a coronavirus vaccine is found, it could require regular booster jabs. Mutations won't happen overnight, and the coronavirus is mutating slower than the flu virus. But it's important for scientists to keep a close eye on how the virus changes over time. Could we be hearing more about other mutations in the future?
We know the world is a crazy place right now, but don't panic. Take a breath, slow down, or better yet, stop completely. We'll still be here when everything settles down. In this time of uncertainty, look to nature. She has all the answers, you know. We're not only giving ourselves time to reset, we're giving nature time to restore, revive, restart. We're saving ourselves and we're saving the world. Stay home now so that we can welcome you to Namibia again soon. Yes, the world's a crazy place right now, but don't despair. Find the joy, cherish hope, breathe. Take a moment, take a few, and someday soon you'll once again be able to stay in wonder at this magnificent view. The world's a crazy place right now, but don't worry, we'll still be here. We'll see you again soon.
Omba Arts Trust is not just an organization for me. I think of it in the form of a person, a mother and a friend I have walked and grew with. A friend whom I've traveled many remote and dusty roads. A sister who provided so much needed support during times of fear and uncertainty.
Kamang agke kum tal akwa ka tama kali khatani umwa ngqaba ka harasiko am qason ikake ngasheng kubiya oma ngqaqosi ngite anhiya Oako ogo musa omkazua kai na akazua kai koku amka akamkete kaka kwase aka kwase tokudu akako kai kani duchi sake kumitubuka kana borka kana kumka
There is a saying in Damara for people such as Omba, which is which which simply means someone who will, with love, exchange your lean piece of meat with their fat one. It might sound simple when translated, but when used towards a loved and appreciated person, it gives such honor. It describes a person who will do everything to make sure you are taken care of. Besides, we all know how the Damaras love their meat.
Ditsie Maria. Good. Jy moet 'n bietjie meer reg wees, né? Soos die boere hulle mielies plant. Ja.
I have seen Omba grow and turn into a light of hope for Namibians all over Namibia. I have seen women and men grow as individuals, becoming respected members of their communities, but also valuable providers of their families. I have seen people with no hope in their eyes light up when they see Omba arrive to fulfill a promise which was made and which they did not believe will be kept. I have seen women dance and sing for hours until the dust from their feet covers us all because the old friend has arrived. I've seen women standing up in front of a large number of people and express their hopes and dreams. I've seen people who have never left their village travel hours and hours to other countries and share their culture and experiences. I have seen children grow and become young women and men before my very eyes. Omba has been the sister holding hands throughout it all. Omba has built valuable and strong relationship with communities, empowering both women and men, but the impact on women can be seen and felt most sincerely. The work with the women has such a ripple effect all over the whole village, most especially the young. Omba has taught them to fish. As times grow tougher and much more difficult, money becomes scarce. Environment around us changes and nothing will ever be the same again. In times like this is when we realize the value of a friend like Omba. It provides hope, constant support, reliable income, and keeping us all together, keeping our pots filled and our fires burning. A motivation to do better, live better, and expect better. If one day the unthinkable happens and Omba is no more, it will be a sad time for our Namibian rural population. Therefore, let's keep the light burning at all cost.
Ons die Sanmense is die eerste mense in die wêreld wat vandag agter gaan staan. Omba is nou die water wat vir ons nat maak. Dat onze wortels mooi groeien, dat ons vruchten kan brengen, kos kan brengen. Omba gee vir ons werk. En van daaraf leven ons.
It's just an amazing story that ostrich eggshell beads, 72,000 years ago, the ancestors of the San were making ostrich eggshell beads, and today in the 2020s Junko women are still making those beads pretty much in the same way, and the work has evolved from fairly traditional products. This probably would have been worn like this into something as sophisticated and contemporary as this necklace from the waterfall range. So here we are bringing the necklace to this gallery in Windhoek, and it then gets sold to customers in Europe, in America, and generating income for women, Junko women back in the Kalahari. So it's just an amazing thread of history that goes to this ostrich egg, to this contemporary jewelry. This basket I absolutely love. It's a finely woven basket in natural dyes. This asymmetry is very unique to Namibian baskets, and we've been working with these women, doing workshops and helping them evolve into these incredibly fine baskets. We've worked with the women developing different palettes, and there's another one with a slightly more yellow palette. but considered are the best baskets in Africa. What we're showing you in this short video is really a long journey of working together with rural communities, reviving ancient traditions, turning them into contemporary world-class product, and supporting the livelihoods of over 400 artisans. Even during COVID-19, we've been helping our sand communities with food and a distribution of tibi taps. What we need to do now is to honour the trust that has been put in us over the last 30 years, to support marginalised sand communities and the livelihoods of rural women around Namibia. Your donation will help us get our 400 artisans back to work as soon as possible so that they can feed their families. The lives of their 2,000 family members will directly benefit from this. Please help us raise $50,000 by contributing to the Omba Artisan C19 Support Fund. No matter how big or small, this will make a difference in the lives of our artisans during COVID-19. Thank you.
On the Gold Coast of West Africa lies the peaceful and diverse nation of Ghana. I'm pretty close right now to the geographical center of the earth. It is also one of the last pockets for elephants in the wilds of West Africa.
You know, every country in the world just about has cattle, sheep, goats, horses, donkeys, but it's only Africa that has the real megafauna, the charismatic stuff which people in the rest of the world want to see.
The passion that the staff have for the job.
There's value to a bird which brings birders to a place like this. I mean, this is a birding paradise. We see an intrinsic appreciation and joy from seeing the wildlife out here, but not everybody does.
You can't get to Moli and then will not be passionate about what we do, because you'll be the only one left. Everybody is passionate.
The only worthwhile war, the war against destruction, the war against loss, the war for peace, for balance, for inclusion.
It's out of my way. Buffaloes, elephants, tigers, are still in existence.
If Mole fails, then Ghana is without wildlife.
Join me as we journey to the untamed wilderness of northern Ghana to meet these last defenders.
The people within the law enforcement agencies don't really know. You're talking about a roan antelope. Somebody thinks it's just like a goat.